Deep breath in and exhale. Close your eyes. Keep breathing deeply. See yourself in a space that goes beyond the physical place that you are at. You can call this place special, sacred, blessed, magical. Use the word that resonates with you the most. This is your place, it's your meditation, and it is about your life. The important thing about this place is that our souls are able to meet and acknowledge each other, to nourish and celebrate each other. Since this place is yours, you can take it with you all day long, beyond the meditation. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, see yourself in the present, surrounded by the entity that you value the most. God, the higher power, the source, the Holy Spirit, the all-powerful Spirit, the grand organized design, or whatever it is that you believe. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, declare that it was a wise decision to step up into this meditation, into this space. Declare that you know it was a wise decision to get out of the trap of doing more stuff. And by having done so, giving yourself the gift, the precious gift, for your mind to become sharper and more precise, your spirit to become stronger, and your heart to become more loving. Take a deep breath in and exhale all attachment to how does that work? Will that work for me? It won't work for me because of whatever it is that is showing up. Questions or sentences that are coming. Justifications that are coming. Realize that the meditation is already working. As soon as a question or a justification shows up, it's leading you to understand that there are more than what you just said, that there are more than what you just thought. Take a deep breath in and exhale and flow that is working. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, trust that it's working as it is working, that when you take a deep breath in, there is oxygen on that air, so essential for your life and at the reach of your nose. You don't have to do anything complicated. It's at the reach of your nose. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Declare that you are willing and able to make the most of this time and from your life. Declare that you are receptive toward your message for today. Since you are aware that whatever it is that shows up is coming all the way from the subconscious to the conscious, and for that, you are willing to be grateful. You acknowledge that when something shows up, even if you dislike it, it's giving you the precious opportunity to heal what has been hidden until now. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Declare that you are receptive to interview your message for today with curiosity, treating it as an ally. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let go any attachment to a specific way or form. It could show up as a thought, memory, body sensation, particular emotion. Whatever it is, you embrace it. It could show up during your time in this meditation or after the meditation. Because this mindset, this space is yours. And whatever transformation happens on your psyche, on your mind, will allow other things to go and make click. What if what you perceive is a disorder are things just rearranging themselves? Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let go any attachment to a specific message. Is that message an option? Indeed, why not? Could be. Are you keeping in mind that the universe is infinite? Infinity root. Infinity root. Therefore, in a universe that is infinite, that there are always more and more than what you see. What if right now you let go your attachment to a specific message and you embrace that whatever possibility shows up, whatever message shows up, is the instrument you need the most today to learn, grow, and evolve from it. Take a deep breath in and exhale. From freedom, I transform what I communicate with the structure and clarity. Do you consider yourself able to declare, free to declare to the universe that from freedom you transform what you communicate with a structure and clarity? Or that sound, fill the blank. What's your concern about it? From freedom I transform what I communicate with structure and clarity. Observe. What came first? A thought, a memory, a body sensation, a particular emotion, a particular person, a particular event. Any of that inspire you or put you in despair? Any of them is attached to the past, to the present circumstances, or to the future? Is it possible that you are giving so much time to the future that you are missing the present moment? Is it possible that unconsciously you are choosing a future that is limited by your perceptions of your past or your present circumstances? Take a deep breath in and exhale. From freedom I transform what I communicate with the structure and clarity. From freedom I transform what I communicate with the structure and clarity. Are you trying to tell me? Indeed, I communicate with the structure and clarity. That's the reason I am so successful at fill the blank. Thank you for being here. Thank you for keeping in this space. Is it possible that you are considering only one area of your life But you are more than one area of your life. Vocation, physical, financial, familial, mental, social, spiritual. Take a deep breath in. And exhale anything that could be overwhelming right now. Are you keeping in mind? This meditation is about expanding your sphere of consciousness, expanding your sphere of awareness, expanding, raising your level of alertness, and by your willingness to keep here, keep listening, keep breathing, you are facilitating that to happen. You are being your own facilitator. Take a deep breath in and exhale. From freedom, I transform what I communicate with structure and clarity. From freedom, I transform what I communicate with structure and clarity. What if right now you choose to ask yourself, do I leave data out? Do I leave details out of my communication? Are you trying to provide so much detail, so much information that you're sending so many reports that people don't have time for anything else? Or are you asking so many reports that you don't have time to read all of them? And the decisions take longer? Take a deep breath in and exhale. From freedom, I transform what I communicate with structure and clarity. From freedom, I transform what I communicate with structure and clarity. Look into the past. Which event is coming the strongest? Is it one time that you perceive that you communicate with structure and clarity, but in the blank? Or is it a moment that you perceive you didn't communicate with the structure and clarity, and from that moment, fill the blank? Who do you believe you became after that? Which labels did you place on your self-image, or did you allow others to give you and you believe them? And you are still carrying all those labels with you. Is it possible that you are thinking right now in all the ways of communication with the structure and clarity with the outside world? And maybe, just maybe, the structure and clarity would be bringed by your willingness to remove some of those labels, review them, and place some new labels on you. Take a deep breath in and exhale. From freedom, I transform what I communicate with structure and clarity. From freedom, I transform what I communicate with structure and clarity. Is it possible that you perceive that you always communicate with structure and clarity? Is it possible that then you don't understand why others did fill the blank, when for you it was so clear, it was so obvious? Is it possible that your structure and clarity you perceive is structure and clarity are understood by some kind of people and not by others. Is it possible that consciously or not you reject the ideas or projects of those that you perceive don't communicate with the structure and clarity? Take a deep breath in and exhale. From freedom I transform what I communicate with the structure and clarity. From freedom I transform what I communicate with the structure and clarity. See the future, the different areas of your life. What would you love to communicate with the structure and clarity? Physical, financial, familial, vocational, mental, social, spiritual. Is there any area that you would love to have more structure and clarity? Or are you trying to tell me, I am a creative person, therefore, structure and clarity is not for me? Really? Do you realize that a structure and clarity gives you time to express more of your creativity? Take a deep breath in and exhale. From freedom I transform what I communicate with structure and clarity. From freedom I transform what I communicate with structure and clarity. How do you feel about that? Look into your self-image and declare, I adjust my perspective about who I am. And from a place of love, I align and communicate with structure and clarity. I adjust my perspective about who I am. And from a place of love, I communicate with structure and clarity. How can you align with structure and clarity from a place of love? How does that look like for you? Take a deep breath in and exhale. From freedom I transform what I communicate with structure and clarity. From freedom I transform what I communicate with structure and clarity. Is it possible that you are punishing yourself for those moments that you perceive you didn't communicate with structure and clarity? Or is it possible that you are under the illusion that because we are having so much information, we are communicating with structure and clarity? What about when a quick decision is needed? Is it possible that people need to look for a lot of different media to find the answers? Social media, emails, different apps. Is it possible that you are attached to a system that used to work and right now your results are showing that you could benefit from an overhauling of that system. Take a deep breath in and exhale. From freedom, I transform what I communicate with structure and clarity. From freedom, I transform what I communicate with structure and clarity. How often people prepare for events at the wrong date, at the wrong time? Or how often those people don't prepare themselves for something that is going to be in half of an hour, for example? What do you believe could be done? Where are you placing the responsibility? Do you believe that your job as a leader is doing all the stuff you? Or to guide others with a structure and clarity? Take a deep breath in and exhale. From freedom, I transform what I communicate with a structure and clarity. From freedom, I transform what I communicate with a structure and clarity. Are you aware that in order for you to step up into new levels of service, profit, health, freedom, and greatness, in whichever way you value the most, your willingness to make adjustments in your structure, your willingness to work on how to be more clear and precise in your communication, impact the way you interact with others, and even impact the way that you interact with the opportunities that shows up. Take a deep breath in and exhale. From freedom, I transform what I communicate with a structure and clarity. From freedom, I transform what I communicate with a structure and clarity. How does you feel about the possibility that your methods need some small adjustment? Does that inspire you or put you in despair? Take a deep breath in and exhale. From freedom, I transform what I communicate with a structure and clarity. You believe life is a continual experience, learning experience? Or are you punishing yourself for not having no fill the blank? Take a deep breath in and exhale. From freedom, I transform what I communicate with structure and clarity. From freedom, I transform what I communicate with a structure and clarity. From freedom, I transform what I communicate with a structure and clarity.